It's our tradition on these Shabbat B'Yachad nights to share stories. And I want to share with you a story that I learned about how once there was a little boy who asked so many questions. He asked about fish, and he asked about doorknobs. He asked about the moon, and he asked about skyscrapers. At first, he mostly asked his grandfather these questions, but soon he was asking everyone for answers. And the one thing that he asked about more than anything else was about God. To everyone he met, he'd say, "Can you tell me the secrets of God? Where does God live? Where does God come from? Where can I find God?" And some people told them what they thought, but many of them told to go ask someone else. When he got older, and he could be a little bit more independent and search out his own answers from others, he heard about a rabbi in a town many miles away who was supposed to be very wise. So the young man packed up everything he owned, and he went to that town, and he went straight to the rabbi. Rabbi, he said, "I have come here to you to learn from you the secrets of God." The rabbi looked at his face for a long time and said, "I will teach you, but first, tell me, do you have a place to stay?" "A place to stay?" said the young boy, who was now a young man. "I don't need a place to stay. I came to you so you could teach me the secrets of God." "Of course," the rabbi said, "but first, go find a place to stay. Then you'll learn the secrets." The young man was frustrated, but he really wanted that rabbi to teach him. So he looked for a place to stay. He looked in for a hotel. There weren't any hotels in that town. He looked for a room to rent. He even looked for a spare bed, but it was a small town and there wasn't anywhere to stay. Finally, he met a carpenter who lent him some tools, and he tried to build himself a house. He had never built anything in his life. But after a lot of trial and error and hammering his thumb and walls falling down on him, he finally succeeded. He built himself a little house. And he went back to the rabbi and he said, Rabbi, I built a house. I didn't know I could do something like that, but I learned how and I did it. Now, will you teach me the secrets of God?" The rabbi looked at his face for a long time. And then the rabbi said, "I will teach you. But first, tell me, do you have a job? How do you support yourself?" "A job?" said the young man. "I don't need a job. I came to you so that you could teach me the secrets of God." "Of course," the rabbi said, "but first, go find a job. Then you'll learn the secrets." The young man did not have many skills, but he really wanted the rabbi to teach him. So finally, he found a baker who was looking for an apprentice. She taught him everything she knew, and he worked so hard learning how to turn flour and water into bread and cakes. He learned how to knead and how to stir and how to wait for the dough to rise. Finally, he'd mastered this trade, and the baker made him her business partner. He went back to the rabbi with a basket of wonderful goods and said, Rabbi, I learned a trade. I didn't know that I had that in me, but I learned how and I did it. Now, will you teach me the secrets of God?" The rabbi looked at his face for a long time. And then he said, "I will teach you. But first, tell me, do you have love in your life? Do you have your own family?" "A family?" said the young man. "I haven't had time for a family. I came to you so you could teach me the secrets of God." "Of course," the rabbi said, "I will teach you. But first, go make yourself a family. Then you will learn the secrets." Well, there was someone who the boy liked and who liked him back. And they started dating. And finally, they decided to get married. And sometime after that, they brought children into their lives. The young man had never known how much love he had to give, and he had never known how much love he could receive. Finally, he went back to the rabbi. He said, Rabbi, I have done all of the things you've told me to do. I built a home and I learned a trade. I learned to love and I have grown a family. Now, am I ready now for you to teach me the secrets of God? The rabbi looked at his face for a long time and said, there's still one more thing you must do. Go home and you will learn. So the man went back to the house he'd built. But sometime soon after that, he got a message. Come home to where you grew up. Your grandfather is dying. So he went back to his native village. He sat with his grandfather for a long time. They talked about all of the things they had learned. And when his grandfather saw that his grandson had grown up to be a wise, wise man, he closed his eyes and he went to sleep. And he did not wake up again. The young man was so sad. He grieved and he grieved. He thought he would never learn to live with this loss. But slowly, he began to find that happy memories could accompany his grief. And that even though he was sad and might always bear that sadness, he found that he could live with joy and sadness intermingled inside him. So he went back to the rabbi. And the rabbi looked at his face for a long time and said, you are ready. When you first came to me, you looked for answers outside of yourself. But as you have gotten older, you have learned to build and to work, to love and to grow, to lose and to live, to bear joy and grief together inside your heart. Inside you, you already now have the secrets of God. And the boy knew that it was true. So why do I tell you this story tonight? In our Torah portion that we'll read tomorrow, the Israelites in the desert wilderness are told to build a mishkan, a dwelling place for God. God says, build me a sanctuary so that I may dwell betocham, among you, inside you. What a strange thing to say. We know that God is in all things, wherever we seek God out. So why would the Israelites need to build a sanctuary for God? Well, like the boy in the story, I think that it is that so through their building, through learning that they could build such a sanctuary, working together, that they could find the secrets of God, that God was already betocham, inside them. Shabbat Shalom.